It's tough, man.
Your two hosts, Carlos and Dylan.
What's up, Gator Nation? What's up, Rolling with Carlos family? We're back for a pregame show of the Swampcast with my co-host and friend, Dylan Olive, and from If You Ain't a Gator podcast, JB, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, man. Thank you.
How you doing today, guys?
I'll let you have it, Dylan.
With all the rumors of the guy that can't get out of his way about to be fired.
Yeah. It's good to be back. It's a nice weekend. I think we got a good game ahead, so excited.
Okay, let me see what I can. What are the questions that I sent you guys? Hold on, there they are. I think. Yeah, right here. I went too far. Sorry about that, guys. A little technical difficulties. What are your expectations for this game?
You want to
go first up there?
All right, I'll go. Yeah, my expectations is, I'll be honest with you, I think that with all the chatter going around on social media about Billy being fired, I think that these players are going to rally around him and play for him. And I'll be honest, I think it's a pretty significant win. Like, I think it's a multiple score win.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like it kind of feels like a Kentucky kind of game from last year where, I'll probably expect it to be close early. I think Mississippi State's a good football team. I don't think they're a great football team. But I think, we mentioned it on Tuesday, Carlos. I think this is a must win and a game that they very much should win. So yeah. I'm excited to see how they respond to all the outside noise. I know they say, they don't listen to the outside noise, but they do. I mean, they hear it. So I'm excited to see, them come out. And, I mean, last time they played at home, they looked good, man. They beat Texas. So I'm excited to see a little Dallas Wilson magic this weekend.
Agreed. Who, in terms of players, if Billy were to get fired, are key for building the program going forward? I know we don't know who the coach is, but who do you guys consider key to continue to build the program? Because I was talking to JB off the show. This feels like another Ron Zook, and we need another Urban Meyer to come through and clean up and get the ship correct.
Yeah.
Even though Napier is worse than Ron Zook. That's a fact.
That's 100% fact. I think that I'll be honest, like, I think if we go get a Lane, quarterback, I hate to say this because everyone's going to, bash me because I'm saying that DJ's not, a crazy piece, but I think that Lane can make do with, he's got a quarterback's eye. I think that you got to keep Dallas Wilson, obviously, Vernell Brown, and Jaden Ball if you can. And then on the defensive side, honestly, just keep Miles Graham there. He's a leader. He's someone that I think can rally the troops, and I think that he'd rally a defense around him. Other than that, honestly, with the way this team looks, I'm like, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we talked about it, and you mentioned it, Carlos. It's going to depend on what coach we end up getting, but I don't think you can say there's really anyone that we necessarily need to bring back just because it's the transfer portal era where, JB mentioned it. If Lane comes in, he'll find a quarterback from the portal. He'll find wide receivers from the portal. He can build a squad. Anyone really can build a squad at Florida pretty quickly. Guys I'd like to have back, I mean, you mentioned it, Miles Graham, Dallas Wilson, VB3, even, DJ, I'm bought in on DJ. I'd love to have him back. I think, this year's been tough, but there's a lot of good football ahead for him. Cormani, I really like. I mean, I know he's coming up on draft eligibility, but I think, his ceiling's super high. I think, we saw he's kind of had some tough games back-to-back here, but I still think he's a really good player. So there's a couple guys, Jaden Woods, there's a couple guys that I'd love to have back, but at the end of the day, with the transfer portal, I mean, this thing could flip on its head at any time. You're still at
I
the
understand.
University of Florida,
I
so kids
understand.
are gonna want to come play here.
In terms of coaches, is there anyone you would want the next coach to stay with? I can tell you two off my dome right now that I would want them to stay, and one of them is a true Gator because he's been here 3 times.
Billy?
And Dylan probably knows who it is. You might know who it is. Billy Gonzalez.
Billy Gonzalez, yes sir. That was gonna be
And
on my
then
list.
I said this on the show before. I want our current defensive coordinator to stay. Those are the only 2 I would want. The rest can go.
Yeah. I'm not real high on Billy Gonzalez. I think that it's like, I like how dedicated he is to the logo, but I think it's hard for me with him because I feel like with some of the talent he's had, I'm like, I think they kind of, like a Dallas Wilson goes out there and he makes you look good. Like, I feel like I could go coach him and they'd be like, oh yeah, like JV's a real good receiver coach. And I'm like, no, I'm not. He's just really good at football. But yeah, I think, for example, if we got Lane to come in, honestly, if we got Lane, if he could keep Ron Roberts, I mean, that offense and defense tandem, like if we had this defense this year with an offense run by I guess not fully run by Lane, but he's an offensive-minded coach. He knows what he wants and who he wants in the OC. I mean, it would feed families in Gainesville. It's insane. But yeah, Ron Roberts is the only one.
Yeah, I like Ron. I think it's pretty obvious that he's done a great job this year. Billy Gonzalez is a good shot. I think it is tough. Like JB said, there's so much talent here, and you look at in the past he's had some wide receiver rooms where you're kind of like, it wasn't that great. But at the same time, I mean, even this class that he's built this year, I mean, I'm super high on Davion Gross. Marcos
Yeah, but we
Daniels
are about to lose our class. That class is about to fall apart.
Hey, you never know. There's some Gators in there.
Money
You
talk.
never know. Justin Williams, I'm sure will stick, and I like him too.
Yeah, I know about JW. He's a good cat.
He's a dog, man. But other than that, I mean, I'm still a fan of Jabbar Jalouk. I know, it's kind of it's a hot take right now because of what happened during the LSU game.
I could care less what he did in the LSU game.
Right?
He's a good coach.
that running back room is always phenomenal. I know Jaden Baugh is kind of, he's special. I wouldn't give that to Jabbar Jalouk, but that running back room, I mean, you saw it with Duke Clark. Duke Clark came out there. We're just pumping out running backs. We get someone hurt, and Duke Clark comes out and looks good. I mean, Katie Daniels didn't look too bad against Texas A&M. I think that running back room's always good with Jalouk, so I like Jalouk. But at the end of the day, I think I'm all for a coach coming in and bringing his own guys in. I think at the end of the day, it's really just about who they want, because I don't want these coaches clashing. I don't want these I mentioned I was a Giants fan when Dable and Wink Martindale were fighting all the time.
Yes, I remember that.
And that just causes so much mayhem. So I'll be fine with whatever the next coach decides, and from there I'll make my decisions on maybe we should have kept Ron Roberts, this and that. But it'll be a wait and see for me.
What do you guys think? This is not on the questions I sent you. I apologize because it just popped in my head. What do you guys think of the rumors that quote unquote Billy tried to hire Charlie Weiss Jr.?
I posted a tweet about this. I don't know if you saw it, with the guy who's like doing the check and he's like barely checking and doing this. I think that it was kind of like he was going to use him as a scapegoat. I think he was going to put him up in the box, and I think he's going to have him watch overhead and like, oh, should I run? Should I pass? But at the end of the day, I'm going to call the plays. And I think it's a way to, if the offense doesn't click, he can go, well, I got an OC. And no matter what, I think even if he got an OC and it didn't work, I think he's on the hot seat regardless. But I think he can it's more of like for his resume going forward. Like, oh, look, I hired somebody and look what it did.
Because look at Charlie at Ole Miss.
Yeah, I didn't see those rumors. I missed that. I guess I missed that.
It popped up yesterday.
Okay, so I missed that, but
so I think they were trying to save his hide, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been nice to have an OC who knows, but I think, like JB said, this was never going to be a offense not run by Billy Napier. I mean, he made that so clear, this whole offseason. you ask him now, he'll tell you the same exact thing that, he has that famous quote, "It's what got us here. It's his play calling." So at the end of the day, even if they did make,
play calling. Excuse me. Oof, did I say bullshit?
It is what got us here. It's what got us to this record too.
Hey, yeah. I mean, it's tough, but I think even if we made a splash hire, even if we got, I know Marion, the guy that's at Sac State now, everyone wanted him. I think we would look the same if we hired him. He'd just be in the box, and maybe he'd have like a little influence. But I think Billy was stuck in his ways, and we're seeing how it turns out.
I know I'm jumping the gun, but who's your MVP for Saturday's game?
I feel like you got to go Dallas Wilson. I feel like it's just crazy. Seeing him, he's a game changer, and that's what it is. I mean, I got to give a shout out to my brother. He said it. He's like, wait until, and I said, I was like, we're going to throw bubble screens to Dallas Wilson, and he's going to make something happen with it. And he was like, I think we're going to try more. We're going to try more. And it is like, it's been talked about, and I've been learning a lot. Even like Vern said, he's like, that's a guy who can change the offense. You can run more plays that opens more people up. And I think that his MVP status comes even more so than just catching touchdowns or catching the ball. He draws so much of that defense towards him that now you have somebody that's like, it's been talked about. Now defensive coordinators, they stay up at night and they're like, how do we game plan for this, whatever that is over there wearing the number 6 jersey? Because he's just a freak. Like, I don't know where he came from or what he ate growing up, but he's just, that's who I gotta choose him.
Yeah, I think that was the first one that came to my head. But bouncing off that, I'm gonna go with Jaden Ball, just because we saw how special he was early in the year, and his usage just kind of died down. His I feel like just with how bad our offense has been, we haven't seen him kind of shine like we did early on. I think Mississippi State is a perfect game where you kind of get him going. I mentioned the comparison to Kentucky last year. He had 5 touchdowns last year, so
5 of them.
I'm not calling a 5-touchdown game or anything crazy like that, but I think we see him break some runs. I think we see a classic vintage Jaden Ball, and he kind of reminds people that have kind of forgotten about him a little bit that he's still a top 5 running back in college football right now.
He's still that guy.
You can bounce off the next question because you kind of answered it on our post game. But JB, how do you feel about, or do you think Coach Billy Napier, I'm going to keep it respectful, is feeling the pressure and knows that he's about to be fired on Sunday because he was kind of different on the Monday press conference, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's something I noticed about him. I think that you can kind of tell like there's just different levels of grief and understanding, and I think that he's come to terms with it. When I realized it was when he started talking about the money. Exactly. As soon as he started talking about the money, I think that's kind of I think we've known him to be egotistical, but that is kind of just, it's like another avenue of being egotistical. Like, well, they're going to pay me a lot, so whatever you guys think. It's almost like him kind of tucking behind that in the basement type comment that he made that like, oh, I'm gonna make a bunch of money. I don't care what you guys think. But I think he knows. I think the writing's on the wall, and at the end of the day, I think the real thing I want to know is, does he actually look in the mirror and go, this was my fault? Or does he look at it and go, man, like they just didn't give me enough?
You're talking about a millionaire. I don't think so.
Yeah, you're right. But yeah, I think he knows.
You want to bounce off of it, Dylan, or no?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it. I kind of gave my piece on it, but
yeah,
I think at the end of the day, I want to say he kind of, you had to have known by probably, week 3 when you lost to USF. You start, I know they love to say, blocking out the outside noise, but when you're in year 4 and you're losing to USF, you kind of start understanding this is not going to work out for long. So I think, it's kind of been building for a while. I remember a while back, even before the Texas game, you don't really, at the start of the year, it wasn't like he was saying, oh, we need to get better, this and that. He came in super, high on his horse. And then you started seeing him kind of say, I understand that we're failing. I understand. So I think it's been, yeah. I think it's been building. I think it's been building for a while. And, with how Twitter is and with all these reports coming out, I think my one concern is, do we get a team or at least a coach who is coaching like it's his last game? And that's a good and a positive and a bad. Maybe they let loose. Maybe they throw everything out there. He auditions for his next job. And we're like, where was this? Where were all these cool plays that he was hiding from us? Or maybe we get a deflated team that's kind of, sleepwalking in the swamp and he goes out on a bad note. But either way, I think he's known for a little bit now. I think he knew that he was playing, for his job for a while. And I don't think, a loss to Texas A&M was kind of the eye-opening, oh, shoot, now I'm going to get fired. But at the same time, there's no way out now. I think he understands that. And we'll see how that transforms our approach to Saturday's game.
Gator Dave, don't take offense to what I'm about to say, but I have to ask the question to the guys. Gator Dave made a post of that there's a rumor that it was only one booster that met with SS or Scott Strickland. I've even found out through my sources on Twitter that there's a Fire Scott Strickland website. Whoever did that has a lot of time on their hands because SS is not going anywhere. He just won a national championship in basketball.
Yeah.
Do you believe it was only one booster, or are there many boosters on board with firing Billy? Because the tweet from Dave kind of unsettled Gator Nation, thinking it's only one booster, and he just went to offer support. So is Billy really going to get fired?
Here's my take on it. Because I kind of had the same reaction as like a lot of the timeline where when I saw that, instant panic set in, right?
Yeah.
I was like, oh no, like he's not actually going to get fired. But then when I took a deep breath and I finally just kind of reeled it back in.
And Dave, I love your work, by the way, so don't take it as offensive with your tweet.
No,
I want you on the show.
He never said anything though that was like bad. You know what I mean? He just said it was one person. But the thing is like, why he knows. Everyone can say that Scott Strickland doesn't know or he doesn't care about football. He doesn't care about this. I don't believe that to be true.
I don't believe it either.
I think that if he was, why is he going to renovate the stadium? Like he's got plans for this place that he wants to do. So I do believe, and I'm not a Scott Strickland fan. I think that there are very moronic decisions that he makes, but when
he's
it
got
comes,
a golden ticket.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he signed his own extension. To be honest, there's no active. Yeah, but Billy. So I think that when it comes to the boosters, right?
Yeah.
If you get a bunch of people in there, you're gonna have a bunch of opinions. It's just like if you have 10 Gator fans that come on here and everyone's talking about it, it's gonna be like da 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 da. Everyone's talking, but you get one of them in there, whether it be Hugh or it be Garrett, whoever it may be, you get one in there and you go, okay, they got top dollar. I know that Billy needs to be fired, but I need my top spender to be in here, and let's figure out what the next step is. Like, hey, if I fire Billy this Sunday, are you going to help me go get a Lane? Are you going to help me go get a Marcus Freeman? Are you going to go help me get whoever it may be that's like probably a big splash?
Yeah.
I just feel like everyone was so on board with what was being said that when a little wrench got tossed in there, instant panic just set through.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't panic, but people panicked because it was Gator Dave that put the post.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I mean, I think what a lot of people are overlooking and what a lot of people on Twitter don't really understand, especially when it causes so much panic, is that two different people can have different sources and they both can be right. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure that there was a meeting between a booster and Scott Strickland, and there could also be a bigger meeting that, that source didn't hear about, but he knows about this one. I think, like JB said, I mean, everyone in that building is pretty understanding of what's about to go down. I don't think, if the fans know it, if the entire nation knows it, obviously the decision makers and the big money guys know it. We see on Twitter, I mean, there are some pretty vocal boosters on Twitter that tweet about it.
I just follow Hal since yesterday.
Hal is the big one. He's had some history of tweeting stuff he shouldn't, but he's super vocal. And I think, everyone understands it. So I think Dave, his information was probably right, and I'm guessing that the other information was probably right too. But I just think, even if it was he's meeting with one booster, I'm sure he's going to meet with one booster and then another booster and another booster. All of these guys are paying big money. All of these guys get a say. If you're paying big money, you get a say in what's going on. And, Scott needs you on his side, because once you lose that money, what are you going to do? That's kind of what we run on. So
agreed.
I'm sure that, there's going to be a lot more conversations than just one booster, because even if it's like Q is, the guy giving up the most dough, it's not like he's going to say, all right, it's your decision and I'll meet with you. He's going to talk to everyone. So I don't think Gator Nation should be concerned at all about any report, because I promise you, Scott Strickland cares about football. I mean, I went on my little rant with when we had Brandon from Locked On.
Yes,
I went on my little rant about how Scott Strickland does care about football. I can tell you that much. And I think, the university cares about football. So there will be moves made. And if it's in the works or not, who knows? But there's nothing to panic about. I'll tell you that much, no matter what report's coming out.
Gator Nation, I also have some bad news to give you. You guys are going crazy about fire Scott Strickland. Scott Strickland ain't going anywhere. He won the national championship in basketball. He's going to win another one, because Coach Golden is locked and loaded to win another one. So if he wins back-to-back, I'll be gray before Scott Strickland gets fired.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, we're going to start with the pick'ems. And if I have any questions that pop in my head, because that happens all the time, then I'll ask them. First game, Louisville at number 2, University of Miami.
You want to go, Dylan?
Yeah, I'll go first. I got to admit, usually I'm way more prepared.
But you were coaching soccer, so
it's been a busy week. So give me some patience if I don't get all these right, like usual. But
I can catch up to you. Thank you for helping
there you go. It might be your time, Carlos. But I mean, this one kind of seems obvious to me. I know some people are picking Louisville for the upset. I would love to see that. But I just think, Miami's a really good football team. I think, a lot of times it was, how can Mario Cristobal lose a game he shouldn't? And we've seen that, even Florida, he almost lost that game, even though we looked pretty awful. But Carson Beck's just a veteran quarterback that I think you trust to make the right decisions, even if he's going to throw an interception or two. And, we saw that last year. So I'm pretty comfortable in Miami in this one. So give me the Canes.
Yeah. So I have to say real quick, and unfortunately I have to, beat up on myself a little bit, but when I was talking about the season, I made a comment that I was like, this is not a Cam Ward led Miami team. It's like one of the first comments I made.
Yeah.
And boy, was I wrong. Actually, I technically was right. I was technically right.
I forgive you because we're Gators anyway, so I understand.
Yeah, I was like, they're a lot better. They're a lot better, but yeah, I got Miami.
I give credit to the trenches. I don't give credit to Carson Beck.
Yeah, I think the Carson Beck, though, the difference is that he's got receivers that'll actually catch the ball, and you're seeing that now with Gunnar Stockton, that it's just like, I don't know what's going on up there in Georgia, but they just cannot catch the ball. But it being a Friday game, I don't know who Miami plays next week, so I don't know if it could be a trap game. I wouldn't be shocked if it, go into halftime and it's a 3-point game or a tie game or so, but I think that Miami comes out that second half and blows it out pretty heavy.
Okay, I picked Miami. I don't think Louisville stands a chance. I think Miami's back at least for 1 year. I wouldn't say they're back until Cristobal has them winning consistently and actually winning an ACC championship, because they're living off the 1980s. and Dylan can back this up for me because he's from Key West. So
Very true. Very true.
next game, Nebraska at number 25, Nebraska, which I'm surprised they're number 25, at Minnesota.
Yeah, I mean, you know my opinion on Minnesota, Carlos.
Yes, I know they're garbage.
Yeah, I think Nebraska has been looking like a good football team. All props to them because I kind of soured on them a little at the start of the year. So I'm always going to pick against Minnesota for the most part. Give me Nebraska here.
I got to go to Nebraska too. One of my best friends would absolutely jump all over me if I picked against him. But I go to Nebraska. Honestly, I think it's overtime win Nebraska.
Give me Nebraska, Dylan Raiola, and they at least beat them by 21.
Oh, wow.
That's a big one.
San Diego State at Utah State University. I mean, San Jose State, sorry. Wrong letter.
San Jose State versus Utah State, you said, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to go Utah State here. I mean, I've been impressed for the most part with Utah State. San Jose State's not a bad football team either, but I'll go Utah State.
Yeah, I gotta go Utah State as well, honestly. Only the edge being at home, but yeah, we gotta pick against each other eventually here.
I'm gonna go San Jose State just for fun of it.
There you go.
Belichick and the North Carolina Tar Heels. It feels like Belichick already has a foot out the door of North Carolina because there's already rumors that he may be gone. At Cal.
Oh, this is a good one. I think you mentioned it. I mean, whatever's going on at UNC, it's not working over there.
And he already lost a commit for next year.
Yeah, they stole one from Miami, though. They stole one from Miami yesterday. That was crazy.
Oh, whoa.
I don't know what that was
DB.
about. Yeah, but I mean, they canceled their regular season show that they had, I think on Peacock or something. I don't know what's going on over there. I think Cal, I mean, they got the phenomenal freshman quarterback. I've mentioned that I think they're a little overrated, but I think that's come down a little bit after they lost a few games. I think Cal takes it pretty easy here.
All right, here we go. Now we get opposite. I'm going to go North Carolina. I do think that Belichick's on his way out. I think that college is a different animal when it comes to NFL. NFL is definitely a business, and I know college is becoming that way. But at the end of the day, if Belichick's there, Belichick's a competitor. He wants to win. I don't care if he decides he wants to leave Sunday, whatever, after this game. I think he's a competitor, and I think they go out and get it done in this one.
I'm going to pick Cal for the simple fact that I don't believe he has his team the way he wants it. And he's a spoiled brat from the Patriot days. And I picked Carolina twice, and they burned me twice. They're not going to burn me a third time. If they burn me and they win, good for you, JB.
I told you I was going to take a few swings here.
The marquee matchup for the midday Saturday games. One of the marquee matchups, number 10 LSU at number 17 Vandy. I know which way I'm going already. Dylan knows because he knows I like a special quarterback. So,
yeah, I mean, we've both been on the Vandy hype train there. This
and
one's
they almost
tough
won.
because,
they should have won.
Yeah. I mean, this one's tough because I love me some Vandy, but I've been on the idea that LSU is one of the best teams in the nation. It hasn't looked as pretty as I thought it would be. I think on offense, I'm shocked that they haven't looked that good on offense. They have all the weapons and they have a good quarterback. That being said, who's home in this one? Is it at Vandy?
Vandy's home.
Oh, okay. That's gonna push me. I'm going Vandy here. I love my guys at home. Give me Pavia. Let's shake some things up.
Yeah. So if Vandy went and beat Bama, I'd have been all on the Vandy train. I'd like that momentum's rolling. They got it going. But I definitely think this is another game that I think it's a real close game all the way through. But I hate to say this as a Gators fan, but I got to go LSU. I think they figure it out. I think it clicks. I think that Pavia and that Vandy offense they're going to do what they do. It's hard to stop them when he is really moving and grooving, but I think that Nuss and the boys get it done.
I'm going to go Vandy and Pavia. I don't think the LSU offense is as potent as they hyped it up to be at the beginning of the season. I think we shot ourselves in the foot. They didn't beat us, just like many of the Billy Napier games. And I'm going to go Vandy by 3.
Okay.
I like it.
Number 12, Georgia Tech at Duke.
Oh, yeah, this one, they're at Duke. This is a sneaky game. I feel like a lot of people are just going to set it and forget it and think Georgia Tech is going to take this one easy. I'm a fan of Duke. I think Darian Mensah is a good quarterback. I think their defense is pretty good. I've been watching them. Last year, I was a big fan. And Manny Diaz has, as much as Miami fans hate him, he's done pretty well there for himself. I'm tempted to pull the upset here, but I just think that Georgia Tech is really good this year. I think they've shown that, they can be prone to some slip-ups, but at the same time, they just have a super talented team. I think Haynes King's a good quarterback. I think Jamal Haynes is a really good underrated running back. So I'm going to take Georgia Tech here, but give me a really close game, and I think Duke kind of puts them on their toes here a little bit.
So here's the swing. This is one of the ones I knew, like the second I was looking at these games and you told me that we go over all of them. I was looking at this one. Brent Key has trouble with unranked teams. I don't know why. You put him against a ranked team and it's just like, it's almost like a Nick Saban comes out. I'm like, who is this guy? How's he get it done? This Duke team and being at home, I don't think it's going to be an easy win. Obviously, I think Georgia Tech and Brent Key. By the way, real side note, please keep Brent Key out of Gainesville. But I think that Duke.
I don't want to see the triple option in Gainesville, please.
No. Yeah, I'm taking Duke here. I think Duke finds a way. I think this is the upset of the week, and you see Georgia Tech lose the one that they're prone to. They're known to lose one.
I'm going to pick Georgia Tech. I think they're the real deal. I think they're going to make the playoffs this year, based on a couple games I've watched. Are they going to win the championship? No, but they'll make the playoffs. Washington at Michigan.
Ooh, this one's a good one, man. Washington at Michigan.
If I didn't give you rank, that means they're unranked.
Yeah. This is a good one. If again, it's the home field advantage is pulling me one way. I love Washington. I love their offense. I think.
Yes.
I mean, Demond Williams is must-see TV, man. That kid is good. That kid. He runs the ball like Kyler Murray, and it's awesome. I love watching him. I don't know. I really want to take Washington
Do it,
here.
Dylan.
I really, really want to. And just for fun, just to have a good time, let me go Washington here. I'll stick with my boys. They'll give me something to root for.
Yep. This is another one. I think that Michigan is good, but I think that Washington is really good. And I think you look at that one loss, and I think a lot of people look at that one loss and go, oh, well, look how they looked against Ohio State. Well, look how a lot of people look against Ohio State. A lot of people look like that. I think this Washington team is really good, and I think that the offense that they run is really, really good. I got a real opinion on Jed Fish, but a lot of people hate me for it, and I understand why. But I think that Jed Fish and the boys get it done. I think they beat Michigan. I think they could beat Michigan by 2 scores.
Side question, and then we'll keep going. Is Jed Fish? I'm gonna tell it right now. I'm gonna pick Michigan because I need to catch up to Dylan. Is Jed Fish on your short list?
I guess it depends on how short you're talking. He's on there, but he's a little ways back.
Okay.
I'd say probably 7 or 8.
Cincinnati is out of the question. He just signed an 8-year deal. So he's out
I think there's a lot that comes along with someone coaching their alma mater. I'll just say that. I think that, especially you think about if you were to go coach the Gators or if you were to go coach the Dolphins, you would have an extra oomph to you to want to do whatever it takes. It's the only reason. But again, everyone's knocking them for that one loss, and it's the number 1 team in the country.
No, of course.
So,
UConn at BC.
Ooh, UConn, Boston College. This one's tough too because UConn's kind of been sneaky good this year. Boston College has been sneaky bad. But I got to stick with Boston College, man. I keep picking them, and it keeps not working out for me. And I keep looking at the scores, and I'm like, damn, why did I do that? Why do I keep doing this? But I'm going to do it again. Give me Boston College here. I think at some point they got to turn it around. I mean, they looked good last year for half the season, and that was even with all the Tommy C nonsense that was going on there. So I think they turn it around here. Give me Boston College.
Yeah, I'm going to keep it short and sweet. I think it's UConn. I think UConn wins it pretty easily.
Yeah, give me UConn. Again, this is another team that bit me twice. I'm not picking Boston College. I've already gotten bitten twice by the bug, thinking that their head coach could actually translate to college. I think he's doo-doo garbage, and Boston College is going to be looking for another head coach within the next 2 years. Give me UConn in this game, which I thought he was going to be a good hire, but it turns out he's doing bad. Arizona at Houston.
Ooh, this one's a really good game, too. I love me some Arizona. I love me some Noah Fafita. On the other side, Houston has looked really good, man. I mean, we shouted out our former DC the other day. He's been doing his thing.
He woke up. He's like a sleeping giant now. He was a
right.
Giant at Florida. Now he's a excellent DC at Houston. Go figure.
Crazy how college football works, man.
Different talent.
It never fails to, astound me how college football works. I like Houston. I like Connor Wegman, but I think I've got to go with my gut here. I got to go with Arizona. I know, the weapons aren't as good as last year for Fafita, but they've still looked good. So give me Arizona here. Yeah,
I'm very, very torn on this one. I really don't know which way to go. This is one that I've just been debating back and forth, and I was like, I'm just going to answer. I'm going to answer on the show and just kind of wing it and roll with it. I'm still torn. I'm sitting here. I'm still debating back and forth. I feel like I have to go Arizona. I think Houston's good, but I think that we know what Austin Armstrong is, and I think we know he can. When the going gets tough, it can get him. Now, I will say, it's different talent over there. It's I think that fit matters, and I think it's just offenses that they run over there. I think that he bodes well against, but I think Arizona gets it done.
Give me Arizona. I don't think Houston can keep up with Arizona. I think Arizona's a better team. Arizona by 10. Baylor at TCU.
Oh man, these are my two. I've been picking Baylor.
I knew this one was gonna be tough. When I saw it, I was like, "This one's gonna be tough for Dylan because he likes them both."
I mean, I've been heartbroken watching TCU for a couple weeks in a row now. Man, they just keep losing, and I'm like, how did you lose that game? Like, you look like
they're a better team than the record shows,
right? And it's tough because I love Josh Hoover, but it's been bad. He's had some bad turnovers here. I'm still sticking with them. I don't think there's going to be an episode I don't pick TCU. I got a little, like, they're like my second team at this point, other than Hawaii, of course, Carlos. You know about that.
Yeah, he's in love with Hawaii, by the way.
Yeah. But I think I'm going TCU here. Give me Josh Hoover in a bounce back.
100%. I think TCU wins this. It's tough because I do think Baylor is a good team, but honestly, that TCU game versus Kansas State, watching that game last week, I think that he did put himself in bad situations, and there were certain things like the screen pass that was the backwards pass that turns into a touchdown, the pick six. I think when that dam breaks and it starts falling on you, there's not much you can do. I think it's just you get the yips and everything starts unfolding on you. But I think he gets it back together this week. I like TCU.
I'm torn in this one because I like Baylor and I like TCU. I'm gonna go ahead and give me TCU, but it's gonna be close.
I think so.
Army at Tulane.
Ooh, this one's cool. I'm gonna go. I think this one's easier than most of them so far for me. I'm going Tulane. I'm a big believer in what Tulane's been building. I like their quarterback. I respect the Army, but I'm taking Tulane.
Yeah, I'm going Tulane. I'm not going to think too much into it because I feel like they handled them pretty easy. I think I think Tulane just walks away with it. I think we know who's winning that by halftime.
Yeah, give me Tulane. Also, Army with the triple option garbage is not going anywhere with that one. Central Michigan at Bowling Green. Wonder why there's a Bowling Green side of the UF. I wondered who it was. Can we have another coach come from Bowling Green and win the national championship?
Oh, this one, Central Michigan versus Bowling Green. See, this is where I wish I was more prepared. I used to be so good at these matchups. Now,
but you have to coach soccer. We understand.
I know. These little kids are calling me Unc all the time when I could be picking.
Bro, if you're Unc, I'm Grandpa or Great Grandpa.
They call me Unc. It's not nice. I told them I'm only 22, but they get all.
See, I thought you were 23.
Oh, well, there you go. See, I'm younger, but I think I'm going to go Bowling Green here. I wish I could give you a little more insight, but this is just a gut. Give me Bowling Green.
Did you graduate early from high school?
No. I guess I'm just fast. I was born in December, so my birthday's a little late.
Okay, that's what okay. Yeah. That makes a difference.
Yeah,
because I'm a December baby too. Go ahead.
No, you're good. I'm not a December baby. My son is, but I'm a February baby. But I got to go Central Michigan. I'll be honest, I'm only doing that because I'm competitive. I want to try to find a way to get a better record. But yeah, I got to go Central Michigan.
Go ahead and give me Bowling Green. Eastern Michigan and Miami of Ohio.
Here we go. You know I love me some Miami of Ohio.
Yes, I do.
Eastern Michigan. I think this one's pretty easy for me. I'll go Miami, Ohio here.
Yeah, I got to go Miami of Ohio.
Give me Miami of Ohio also. Guys, do you think the Lincoln Riley is in trouble because he lost a recruit? I mean, he lost a player.
Lincoln Riley?
Yeah.
I
think it was a receiver that left Oklahoma just now.
Yeah. Or you mean USC?
No, there's an Oklahoma guy that left 2 days ago. I posted it on my channel. I can't tell you the name right now.
Lincoln Riley's at USC.
Oh, wrong person. Brent Venables.
Oh. Not yet.
Yeah, because Lincoln used to be at OU. That's why.
Yeah. I think Venables fine for now. I mean, they've looked good with Napier healthy, so you got to give them some time.
Yeah, they lost a rivalry with a hurt Napier. I think they'll be all right.
A number 14 OU at South Carolina.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna go OU here. I think I've shared my opinions on South Carolina. I don't think they're that good, and we'll see if John Napier can get back to what he was. I think when he's on, I mean, they're one of the best teams in the nation. So give me Oklahoma here.
Yeah, I got to go Oklahoma as well, and I think it's just strictly off the defense. I know that South Carolina is at home, but no one's ever said, "Man, I'm real scared to go play South Carolina at home." But I think John Napier, I still think he's going to be struggling. I mean, if you've ever done anything just in general, like I've broken a finger on my dominant hand. Yeah. And when you do something wrong to it, it does take a little bit to kind of get that back in groove. But I do think that it's a close one, but I think the defense at the end of the day, I think Oklahoma's defense pulls it out for them.
I think I've told this to Dylan off air and on air. I think the South Carolina quarterback, I was comparing him to the Baltimore Ravens quarterback. No, he's starting to sound like a quarterback we had in Gainesville that was a top 5 pick and now is on the bench.
I called that, Carlos. I told you. I called that. I told you he was. You hated that when I said he was.
I know, but I'm starting to see it because I've seen a couple games. I'm like, this is AR all over again.
I see some.
Give me Oklahoma, and it's going to be close, but give me Oklahoma. West Virginia at UCF.
Ooh, West Virginia, UCF. UCF, I mean, I've mentioned it a couple times. They just keep surprising me. I always am kind of like, oh, UCF kind of stinks this year, but they found ways to win.
It's the magic of Scott Frost coming back.
Yeah. I mean, I was expecting him to fail there, but he's balling, man. So respect to them, but I think West Virginia gets it done. I think West Virginia is just a better football team. They've figured some stuff out that I think, has helped them out throughout the year, so I'm going West Virginia here.
Yeah, thanks to Will Grier, I'm always going to have a little bit of love for West Virginia. I think it's always going to be there, and watching him there, and I just cannot. I can't pick UCF. I can't pick people who claim a national championship. Just cannot do it. But yeah, I got to go West Virginia.
Give me West Virginia. You know, I love me some Rich Rod, and I'm glad he's back in West Virginia. Give me West Virginia. Kent at Toledo.
Yeah, I'll go. I'm going Toledo here. Shout out our last guest. I know he was a big Toledo guy. So
yeah, because he graduated from Toledo. Brandon Olson from Locked On Gators.
Yeah. I guess.
I love to Brandon Olson.
I'm gonna go Toledo here pretty easily, I think.
Yeah, I got to rock with Toledo. I've used them on the Dynasty on the NCAA video game. I got to pick them.
There you go.
Give me Toledo. I don't think Kent stands a chance. I think Toledo's a better team. And I already know my next pick, but I've got to let you guys talk. Buffalo at UMass.
Yeah, I'm going Buffalo. I picked Buffalo so much. They're kind of like a sleeper team that I always kind of end up picking. I think their quarterback running back duo is pretty nice. UMass is, I'm not sure. I don't think they've been doing too well this year. So I'm going Buffalo.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to me. That 0-6 is for a reason. I got to go Buffalo. Even UMass being at home, got to rock with Buffalo.
You know, I love some Buffalo, and I'm not talking about Buffalo wings. I love some Buffalo, Dylan. Give me some Buffalo.
Yes, sir.
Purdue at Northwestern.
Northwestern kind of coming off a shock the world there. Purdue, I've kind of mentioned, I thought they were going to be a lot worse than they are. This one is really tough for me. I know Preston Stone has kind of turned it around at Northwestern. And I think, it was kind of tough what happened to him at SMU because he was like the star there. And then he kind of fell off and got his job taken from him. So I think just on that, my gut's telling me Purdue, but I'm going to go Northwestern. I'm going to ride with Preston Stone, and we'll see if that bites me in the ass. But I'll pull for Purdue. Or Northwestern, sorry.
Northwestern, yeah. I got to go. I'm going to go Purdue. Like I said, I'm trying to take some swings here to try to – I want to see if I can get the record here with this week. But, yeah, I got to go Purdue. I think in my head I know that Northwestern's going to win. But for the record-wise, I'm going to take Purdue.
Give me Northwestern. I was torn in this one because they're pretty bad teams. They're pretty equal. But give me Northwestern. I know I need to catch up to Dylan, but give me Northwestern. I'll stay with Northwestern. Northwestern by 3. Troy at University of Louisiana Monroe, where we should have left Billy Napier.
Yeah, I'm going to go Troy here. I've been hyping up Troy a little bit. I think when they play good teams, Clemson, I don't think you can call Clemson a good team anymore, but when they played Clemson, they kept it close. I don't think, I think Louisiana's missing a coach that brought them back a little bit. They're missing him hard, so I'm going Troy here.
Yeah, I'm going to go Troy. It sucks. I was trying to go against the grain a little bit, but I just feel like I got to go Troy.
Give me Troy. Louisiana Monroe has been garbage since BN left, and he should have stayed there. I think he had a cushy job at Louisiana Monroe, and he tried to be a Nick Saban at Florida, and it didn't work out.
Yeah, he got paid for it though, for sure.
Ohio State at Wisconsin.
Yeah, this one's gonna be super easy for me. Ohio State. Wisconsin's pretty bad.
You know how badly I wanted to come on here and pick Wisconsin. It's like an upset. Just to do it, but I was like, I can't do it. There's no way.
Ohio State's #1 in the country.
Yeah, you could put the whole entire Wisconsin defense on Jeremiah Smith, and he's still going to go score. It's Ohio State, and it's not even close. Those fans will be out of there by the start of the third quarter.
Yeah, give me Wisconsin. Give me Ohio State by 28. Wisconsin's not the Wisconsin that I know from back in the day. Michigan State at the brand new 8-year extension. Indiana Hoosiers, #3 in the country.
Yeah, man. Shout out Indiana for locking in their coach. I saw he said something like, I wanted to retire in Indiana, and I was like, brother,
yes, he said that.
With your age, you're 1 year away from that already. You could.
It's right there.
You're 76 or whatever, but
he might want to die on the field.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Hopefully
No
not.
offense, Cincinnati.
But I
For
love
8
Michigan
years,
State.
you're gonna be 80-something years old. Okay.
I love Michigan State. I love Aiden Childs. But, I mean, Indiana, I called them a fraud earlier. They've proven me wrong. They look really good. Mendoza, I'm really pleasantly surprised by. I thought he was kind of overrated, but he's looked good, man. They're firing on all cylinders. Elijah Surratt is, like, elite, one of the best wide receivers in the country. So I'll take Indiana here.
Yeah, I am I didn't believe that Cignetti would ever come to Florida. I thought that the only chance he had of leaving Indiana was that Penn State job. But I am a huge Cignetti fan. Simple little quotes get me. I don't know why, but that I'm a winner. Google me. I was like, yep, I'm bought in. Last year, I was like, bring him. He can come to Gainesville. I'm just a real big fan of a cocky coach and someone that I think that your players follow that. And when you got a good ego, not an ego here in Gainesville, but when you got a good ego, your players follow and they're playing like it. And I'll say Mendoza is the piece that I think that Indiana needed last year. He's just, he's got those guys balling. But yeah, Indiana big.
Yeah, give me Indiana big. I don't think there's a question. And Ohio State big. Ohio State at least by 28. Texas A&M at Arkansas. Is it true that their coach got fired?
Pittman?
Who's that?
Yeah. I think I saw something that Pittman got fired. I'm not sure.
I want to say that happened a while ago, but maybe I'm wrong.
Okay.
That happened a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure. Because sometimes when you read something on Twitter, you're not 100% sure.
Trust me, I know.
That No 3. Shout out No 3. That guy No 3
Yep.
crazy.
Yeah.
This one I think is pretty obvious. We saw how good Texas A&M is, even if Billy Napier kind of aided them a little bit there. But I think Arkansas. Huge respect to Taylon Green. I always love watching Taylon Green play. He's exciting, but Arkansas is just a bad football team. I picked them to beat Notre Dame a while ago, and I was watching that game, and I was just like shaking my head the whole time, man. They were just they couldn't get out of their own way. So give me Texas A&M pretty big here.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Texas A&M, but I actually think it might shock us. I think that might be one that people start turning on late into the game, going, "Is this about to be an upset?" I think that's because it's in Arkansas. I don't think, again, I look at them as the same way South Carolina. No one's like, "Oh, dang, we got to go play in Arkansas. It's about to get crazy in there." But I do think there is still a home field advantage. They played Tennessee hard. I think that they're a group of players who almost maybe feel embarrassed, and I think they're playing with like their hair's on fire. So I'm going to take Texas A&M, but I would not be shocked with it being really, really close going to the end of the game.
Give me Texas A&M by a blowout. I don't think Arkansas stands a chance.
Yeah.
The Lane train at Kirby, smart.
Yeah, this one's kind of awesome, man. I think if you're a Gator fan, you kind of are conflicted because I feel like at this point you want Lane to lose a little, so it's like, you got to come to games.
No, if he wins a national championship or makes the playoffs, I still think we can pry him on the games. But like I told JB off camera, I think he's a long shot. You got to give him the kitchen sink plus the house plus $10 million a year.
I got $12 to add to it right now. Get him here.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. But I think this is a big game for him because Ole Miss is looking for real, and it's always kind of Georgia where you kind of can prove that you are for real or you can slip up. I'm tempted to take Georgia just because I got a feeling that Lane Kiffin's going to go in there with Ole Miss and Kirby's just going to get them and they're going to underperform, but I'm a huge fan of, everything that Lane Kiffin got going on. I'm a huge fan of Trinidad. He's a baller, man. I love that quarterback. Even Austin Simmons I was a fan of before he went out. So yeah. I'm going Ole Miss, but there's definitely a world and a thought in me that Georgia's going to take this game.
Yeah, it's still Georgia. And I think that Georgia does have those games where it's like, I feel like they start writing them off and all of a sudden they come out there and they put it to them. Ole Miss didn't have the game they had last week. I'd have picked Georgia. But I think that game last week, I think it did something to them. And I honestly, I know it's in Georgia, but I think the Ole Miss beats them pretty sound. I'm not a believer in this Georgia team. I think this is one of the worst we've seen in a while. So it sucks that we're at where we're at.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's still going to be Spurrier 2.0, but it's going to be a close game. So give me Ole Miss. SMU at Clemson.
All right, this is a fun one because I kind of feel like SMU was a little more hyped up than, as good as they've been. I don't think they've been, what we thought they would be. And obviously Clemson it has been Clemson, but I'm really, the logical. I get a good feeling about picking SMU here, but Clemson at home, their season's kind of been not what they wanted it to be. I'm going to go Clemson here, man. I think Clemson, Dabo's turning it around a little bit. I think, you kind of were expecting that. I think, he's a good coach as much as people hate on him. He's proven that he's a good coach. I'm not going to call him the best coach ever or a great coach, but he's a good coach. So I think Clemson gets it done here. I think, SMU looked really good last year, and this year they've kind of fallen off a bit in just the eye test. So give me Clemson.
Yeah. It being at home for Clemson, I got to go Clemson. Clemson, Klubnik, I feel like they get it done. I do like SMU. I like the offense that they run. But again, I do think that my only problem is that I think that Clemson still does have that in them. I think that Dabo can still figure out a way to pull some of these games out. I think you do have an angry Dabo right now that he's wanting to prove something. I don't know if that means that he's their coach at the end of the year, but I got to go Clemson.
I'm going to throw a curveball. Give me SMU.
I love it.
I like it.
Wyoming at Air Force.
Oh, Wyoming, Air Force. I'm going to go Air Force here. I've watched a little bit of Air Force, and they've actually looked pretty good. Wyoming's not a very good football team. Give me Air Force here.
Give me Josh Allen University in Wyoming. I think they get it done.
Josh Allen's not running out on that field.
No, he's not. He's not.
Give me Air Force. Crybaby Dan Mullen and the UNLV Crybabies at who are they playing? Oh, Boise.
Boise State, right?
Yes.
Ooh, this is a good one. This is his first kind of real test.
Well, he had a test week 0, which he never expected.
Well, yeah.
Idaho State, the potato universe.
I'm still not calling that a test, man. That was a bad football team.
Come on, they almost got 3 points.
Almost got him.
He was sleepwalking a little. I'm tempted to take Boise State here just because we know that UNLV's defense is prone to being really bad. We saw it early in the year.
Yes.
I'm just a big Anthony Calandria fan. I'm a big fan of, I think Dan Mullen, as much as I was on the fire Dan Mullen train when I was a student at the university, I think when he's coaching at a lower level like UNLV, it's kind of unfair, man. I mean, he's got that good offense. Questionable, character on defense. I mean, it's last chance you over there. Yeah, but I mean, it's kind of unfair when he's playing at that level. I think UNLV gets it done. And I mean, it's going to be fun, man. I think they could sneak into the playoffs here if everything goes right.
Yeah, I think Dan Mullen gets in his bag this weekend. I think they're gonna beat Boise. I think that it has the makings to be a good game if you're just an overall football fan, not looking at rankings, anything like that. I think it has the makings to be honestly a really good game, but I think we see Dan Mullen get in that bag and pull this one out.
Give me Boise with the upset and Dan Mullen's first loss.
Love it. Carlos hates Dan Mullen, man.
CCU at App State.
CCU, Coastal Carolina at App State. I'm gonna go App State here. I don't think I've picked them all year, and I've always said they're a good football team, but I'm not picking them here. I'm going to pick them here. Yeah. Okay. They're a good football team. They got a former SEC quarterback. I think his name's AJ Swan. He's solid. I mean, obviously not SEC level, but he's a pretty good quarterback. They're always a good team, so give me App State.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go against the grain and pick Coastal Carolina. I don't know. I think that App State, obviously being at home, I think they can get it done, but we'll just switch it up here a little bit.
One of us is going to have a good week.
Yeah.
Old Dominion at James Madison.
Old Dominion. Ooh, this is a good one. This is actually, I don't know, a lot of people are going to be tuning in for this one, but this is two good football teams. I always love to pick James Madison just because they're safe. They are always good. But Old Dominion has been on fire this year. They're a really good football team. This is like a 50-50 for me. I'm going to take James Madison just because I feel like they're safer. I like their quarterback. He's a mobile guy. They're at home, so I'm going James Madison, but this is going to be a really good football game.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you. I got to go James Madison, but again, if we come back to this and I'm wrong about this one, it wouldn't shock me.
Give me Old Dominion. I've been riding the Old Dominion train all season long. Give me Old Dominion. Texas State at Marshall.
Yeah, this one's easy for me. Texas State. I don't think Marshall's a great football team. I think Texas State is another one where you kind of feel comfortable picking them, so I'll take Texas State here.
I'm gonna always I gotta pick Marshall because of Randy Moss. I gotta do it always, unless they're playing the Gators. If they're not, I'm gonna pick them.
I love it.
Give me Texas State. Temple at CLT.
Temple at Charlotte. I'm gonna go Temple here. Charlotte's just a bad football team. I wish I could pick Charlotte, but I can't.
You did at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, I used to love them, man, but they're just bad. So I'm going Temple.
Yeah, I gotta go Temple.
Give me Texas State and then Temple. UTSA at University of North Texas.
I'm gonna go UTSA here pretty easily.
Yeah, I gotta go with North Texas. I think that they played a really good USF team, but I still think that they are a really good ball club. I think they get it done.
Yeah, give me North Texas. I need to catch up to Dylan. Give me North Texas. Akron at Ball State.
Oof, Akron and Ball. My two. Both these teams are just bad, man. I still hold a grudge against Ball State for beating New Hampshire. That was going to be my call of the year. A D2 team beats a D1, and it didn't come through. I'm going Ball State. Akron was just – I can't get over that they were like 3 weeks in and hadn't scored a touchdown or even a point. So I think Ball State's a better team than that. I'm taking Ball State.
Yeah. I as much as I want to take Akron – again, some of these picks because I use them in a dynasty, like last year's game or this year's game, but I just can't do it. I gotta go Ball State.
Yeah.
They need you.
Give me Ball State. I think Ball State's a better team. NIU at Ohio.
NIU at Ohio. Yeah, Ohio. You know Parker Navarro family.
Yeah, I know.
They got a stud wide receiver in Parker Navarro. That's all I need to see. Give me Ohio.
I got to go Ohio. I think that's a pretty sound win. Give
me Ohio. I think they're the better team. Texas Tech at Arizona State University.
Ooh, this is a fun one. This is going to be a fun one. Going back to my TCU bias, I still think that TCU should have beat Arizona State. Hoover just had another one of those where, when it rains, it pours, and he couldn't bounce back. Texas Tech is phenomenal. I love what they're building. They're seriously on their way to becoming one of the better teams in the nation with what they're building over there. I love their quarterback. I love Jacoby Williams. I'm going Texas Tech here. I think they're a really good team.
So I'm going to pick this, but I know he's probable. So I could end up really shooting myself in the foot here. But if Leave It plays, I think I got Arizona State. I'm going to take him in just the hopes that he plays. But I know that if he doesn't, I know I'm definitely wrong. But I think Arizona State finds a way to get it done. I do think, like you said, Texas Tech is good. But I love Coach Dilly. I think that he has got that it to him. And he's a little higher up on the list than Jed Fish is for for the Gators.
I love it.
I love Coach Stilly, but unfortunately, I'm going to pick Texas Tech in a blowout. I think they're the real deal, and I think they're going to make the playoffs. Memphis at University of Alabama, Birmingham.
Yeah, this one's Memphis for me. Memphis is a sneaky good team. You know, they're not missing Mike Norvell too much because Mike Norvell's a bad coach. I had to throw it out there. I'm going Memphis.
Yeah, I love it. I'll take shots at Mike Norvell any chance I get to. I'm going Memphis easy.
I'm going Memphis too. I'm going to skip the next game because that's the last game we cover. And I made a mistake. This is actually Billy Napier's former university that we're going to do now. The other one was Louisiana Monroe. I didn't see it correctly. University of Southern Miss at University of Louisiana.
Yeah, I'm going to go Southern Miss. I mean, you know, I talked about it. I've been on their train for a while. Braylon Braxton, good quarterback. You know, I'm not a betting advice guy, but they were like over 3.5 wins on their over-under, and that's looked like a pretty great bet so far. So I'm rolling with them again. I think Southern Miss gets it done.
I'm going to go Southern Miss, and they're going to end up firing their coach, and Billy's going to go reunite with them just like Scott Frost did in UCF with UCF.
I love it.
Wow. So Billy's going back to Louisiana. Okay. I'm going to go Southern Miss. Number 8, Oregon at Rutgers.
Yeah, this one's Oregon. I think Oregon is a good team. I mean, it was crazy that they lost, but I love me some Dante Moore. Rutgers, respect to them. They've looked better than they started the year as, but I still think Oregon's so much of a better team. So give me Oregon here.
And I already know what Dylan's going to pick next game once I say the name.
Yeah, I think that unfortunately for Rutgers, they got to deal with an Oregon team that's really pissed off. And I think that Coach Lanning is going to go out there and absolutely put it to him. Like, he might try to score 100 if he can.
Give me Oregon in a blowout. Washington State University at UAB.
Hey, you know it. Zevi Akia's fan page right here. He's a dog. I can't believe that they didn't start him earlier. I'm still mad about that. That was some of the craziest things I've ever seen. But I love Washington State. I think they're a really good team now. Give me Washington State.
Dang it. I was hoping we were going to pick against each other. I got to go
He loves Washington State.
Me too, honestly. Like, they're like that closet team for me. I just love watching them play. I do think that Virginia has something cooking over there, but I think that this is a game, I think just like Ole Miss last week, I think it's one that Virginia gets caught slipping and Washington State gets it.
Give me Washington State in a blowout. I don't think that ranking UAB got that ranking because they got a fluke win against FSU. Ugh, I hate seeing that, but next game, number 21 Texas at Kentucky.
Yeah, I mean, give me Texas here. I mentioned it last week. I think Texas is still a solid team. I think, you know, they got hit with the swamp magic and they got hit with a good Dallas Wilson, DJ Lagway day. I still think they're a good team. I was impressed by Arch when I thought I wasn't going to be. I honestly, at first, I kind of was like, oh, he's not very good, but I was impressed with him in the swamp. They got it done last week. I think they keep it rolling, and, you know, a lot of people are counting them out. I still think they're a solid team. I don't think they're one of their best in the nation, but they're a really good team. So give me Texas.
Yeah, I got to go to the Florida-Texas game, and I watched Arch have all of 0.2 seconds to get the ball off. I do think that when they've showed Arch throw the ball and you can see him like wincing, I think there is something there. I think it's just probably arm fatigue that's caused like something wrong inside. But I'm going to go Kentucky. I think Kentucky gets it done at home. I think that you're going to see – I think Texas did a lot to go out there and beat Oklahoma the way they did. And I think that that's a big game for them. So I think big game fatigue is a real thing. And I think you saw that with not giving Billy any type of kudos, but like us beating Texas and then going to Texas A&M. I think you could see Texas slip one and lose here.
Give me Texas. If Archie Manning has a bad game against Kentucky, he's got to ride the bench. Give me Texas and blow up. The Franklin and Penn State in Indy Lions at Iowa.
This is going to be such an ugly game. I mean, I found my way over to Penn State Twitter somehow, and they were all, talking about how they're not excited. It's weird because I was a big Penn State guy coming into the year. I kind of thought that we'd see a jump from Alar that we didn't see, and I'm a big Trebor Pena guy. I think their wide receiver group as a whole is really good. I think I'm still gonna go Penn State. I mean, no James Franklin, but we haven't seen their backup quarterback, but I love the talent at wide receiver. Obviously, their running backs are really good. It's going to be ugly, but give me Penn State here in a I think people will be shocked by this, but I don't think they should be. They're still really talented.
Yeah, I'm going to take Penn State. I think that, now I will say that there's some injuries. So I could see Iowa maybe squeaking it out. I have noticed that our offense, I don't know about now, but I know a couple weeks ago we were ranked behind Iowa in offense, which is kind of makes me want to throw up. But I do think that Penn State still has a squad. I mean, they got players there. Coach Franklin brought in, those guys there. And I do think that that's another one. I think they got embarrassed 2 weeks in a row. And I do think there is one of two ways. Either they're going to get smoked because of Franklin being gone and they've kind of given up, or they know their backs are against the wall and they're going to just fight like hell to get out of it. So
give me Penn State. I think Penn State's going to blow them out. I think they're going to play, even though Franklin's not there, they're going to play for Franklin. And just give me Penn State and blow out. Iowa's not the Iowa we're used to. So give me Penn State. Maryland at UCLA.
Yeah, this one's kind of fun now. I mean, UCLA was kind of looking like a team you didn't want to watch, but they've bounced back. Shout out Tim Skipper, who we brought in for an interview in the offseason, and he's the interim there. He's cooking. I know everyone loves UCLA's new OC. He's cooking it up. That being said, I love what Maryland has right now. Malik Washington is a phenomenal freshman quarterback. He's really good. They even surprised me. I loved what they were doing, but when they took on Washington, I told a bunch of people it's going to be a blowout. Washington's going to come out and destroy them. And Maryland kept it close, man. It was a close game. I'm going to take Maryland here, but I do see a world where UCLA just keeps on rolling. I just love Maryland too much.
Yeah, I'm taking UCLA. I think that momentum's real. They're at home. I think that Nico and the boys get it done. I think, again, I'm big on momentum and there being some type of, now there's a fire lit under them in that facility. I like UCLA to get it done.
Give me UCLA. They're rolling on the interim coach. Obviously, he's not going to be the coach there next year, but give me UCLA. When the kids start rolling under somebody, it's because they want to fight for them. So give me UCLA. Hawaii at Colorado State. I already know where Dylan's going.
Yeah, I don't gotta talk too much. I don't know. I was thinking, did I pick against Hawaii last week, Carlos? I couldn't remember.
Yes, you did.
Oh my gosh, and they won, didn't they?
And they won.
Yeah, that was, I don't know what went over me. I must have been in a different mindset. I'm back with my boys. Mike Alejado is that guy. Give me Hawaii here.
Yeah, I gotta go Hawaii. I'm a big fan of their quarterback. I think that he is a stud. They play at like 3 a.m., so I don't get to stay up and watch them much. But no, I like Hawaii to get it done.
Yeah, give me Hawaii. Colorado State's just not as talented. Georgia State at Georgia Southern.
Oh, Georgia State at Georgia Southern. This one's kind of, I don't have any, either way. Georgia State.
I don't have any way. I'm just going to flip a coin.
Yeah, at this point, honestly, I think I'm just going to go Georgia State for the fun. I don't know. We'll see.
I'm going Georgia State, and there's a reason, because if you know, you know. and I just can't pick Georgia Southern. They came in the swamp and upset us. I got to go Georgia State. I got to. Cannot do Georgia Southern.
I'm going Georgia State just because it's Georgia State. I don't really have any insight on this one. Number 11, Tennessee. At number 6, Alabama.
Yeah, this one's an awesome game. Earlier in the year, Carlos, we keep mentioning it. We both were big against Alabama.
Exactly.
They've turned me, man. I think Ty Simpson's putting a lot of great stuff on tape. They have all the talent. I don't know what happened against FSU. That was really bad. And I think they're prone to some slip-ups. But, Tennessee's a good team too. Not to take anything away from Tennessee. I just think Alabama's looked so good. This is a rivalry game where I don't think they're going to come in sleepwalking. I think they're going to, bring their A game. And I love what's been going on over there. So give me Alabama, even though I was a little bit of a hater early on.
Yeah. Again, I feel like this one's a toss-up. I do. This is a game that I can't wait to sit down and watch. We'll talk about the other game in a little bit.
We need like 10 TVs.
Yeah.
To watch all these games.
Yeah, exactly. I have multiple sitting out of my living room so I can watch them all because it's tough to pick. But I'm going to go Tennessee just to play the opposite side here.
I'm going to go Tennessee because Dylan knows I love their quarterback. So give me Tennessee in a close one. USC at number 13, Notre Dame. And please, Freeman, stay at Notre Dame. I don't need you near Gainesville. Please. Please.
USC, Notre Dame. You mentioned him, Lincoln Riley. I think a lot of fans will hate me for this, and when we do our list episode,
yeah, but I mentioned him because I thought he was still at the other school.
Yeah, people are gonna hate me for this. This is probably one of my hotter takes.
Please don't do it.
I'm putting Lincoln Riley on the list, man. I think he's just he's so fun on offense, man. I mean, he brings in, every year it's just like, oh, Lincoln Riley did it again. Their offense is so fun to watch. I'm higher on him than a lot of people. People are gonna hate me for that. This game is gonna be fun. I think it's a tough one. I think I'm gonna go Notre Dame with all that hype about Lincoln Riley aside. I think Notre Dame has had, a weird up and down season, but this just feels like a game that Marcus Freeman's gonna win. I think USC has a good football team. They, have won some impressive games, but at the end of the day, as much as I want to pick them, I'm going Notre Dame here. So,
I feel like Marcus Freeman knows. I think that he wants out of Notre Dame. I think that he does see that there's some job openings.
I love you, JB, but I don't need Marcus Freeman in Gainesville.
I'll be honest with you. I think that he'd be a different Marcus Freeman in Gainesville. I think that there's a lot that goes into the Notre Dame. Like, I just think that he
needs a running quarterback.
I get that, but I think that he would have more of a say-so at the University of Florida rather than what Notre Dame will allow him to bring in. I am a Marcus Freeman fan. I wasn't a huge fan, but listening to Silk Talk, I was like, all right, you sold me. All right, I'm a fan. But I think USC gets it done.
I'm going to bounce off before I announce my pick of what Dylan said. I'm going to put an asterisk in the air. Asterisk. If Lincoln Riley comes to the UF, give me Ron Roberts with Lincoln Riley. We win the national title.
Hey, that's my vision right there.
But for this game, give me Notre Dame. FAU at USF.
Oh, this one's a fun one. I've been noticing on their Twitter, apparently this is not a rivalry. You can't call this a rivalry.
No, it's not a rivalry, according to them.
Everyone was mad that someone called it a rivalry. I think it's obviously USF, but, as much as it's not a rivalry, it's so fun to watch Florida teams go at it. I think there will be an extra motivation for both teams, but USF is a better football team.
Yeah, USF gets it done easy.
Give me USF. Pitt at Syracuse.
Oh, this one's a fun one, too. I mean, it's unfortunate because Syracuse lost their quarterback.
Yep.
But, they're a fun offense. Fran Brown's a fun coach. That being said, Pitt's found something, man. They've benched Eli, and he had a lot of hype coming in, man. And they benched him for a true freshman. I think he's a true freshman. Might be a redshirt freshman, but a freshman who, comes out and lights up FSU. That was so fun to watch. I had my Pitt gear on, man. I was excited. They got a good offense. I think Pitt's found something, and I think they get it done pretty easy.
Yeah, I'm actually a big Fran Brown fan. I was kind of on the verge of like putting him on my list at one point, and I was like maybe, but I think he's another one that it's a little too early, and it's kind of like a risk, and we just don't need that. But I like Fran Brown and the boys to get it done. I think that Pitt did get a win, but I'll be honest, I don't think FSU is good, and I think that Gus absolutely unloaded the bag against Alabama, but I don't think that Pitt is too good. But I do like Syracuse to get it done at home.
Yeah, give me Syracuse. I agree with JB on this one, even though they're not the same team from last year, and I know that. But I think they still got some talent there, even though they lost. I think they lost their quarterback for the year.
Yeah.
And I love this coach. I don't know if he'll be a good fit at Florida, but he's on my short list. Number 16, Missouri.
Yeah, this one.
And I'm talking about Missouri, the Missouri head coach, not the
Drink.
Auburn head coach.
Yeah.
From what I've heard, Drink is not coming here. That's what I've heard. Pretty much, I'm not gonna say it's a done deal, but that being said, this is a tough one because it's at Auburn. We have Auburn on SI site that we work with a little bit, and they've been freaking out. They're not happy right now, and I think I've mentioned it. I'm not a Jackson Arnold guy. I think he's still a bad quarterback, and I'm a big Bo Prapula guy. I know he had an unfortunate pick at the end of that Bama game. I know it was a tough loss, but I'm a huge Missouri fan. I love their running back is probably the best in the country. Their wide receiver, Kevin Coleman, I feel like they need to get him more involved. He hasn't been as good as I expected, but he's a good ball player. I'm going Missouri here, even though I could see Auburn making this one a close one just because they're at home and that environment's pretty fun.
I'm going to keep it real short and simple. This is going to be Auburn's Florida-Texas game. I think that Auburn finds a way to get it done. I think that it calms the fan base for a week. I think that Auburn played Georgia. We're clapping. We're not timeout. But I think Auburn finds a way to get it done. Coleman breakout game.
Give me Mizzou and in a big win. I think Mizzou has an outside shot at the playoffs.
I love it.
Number 23, Utah. At 15, BYU.
Yeah, this one's easier for me than it might be for some people. I'm taking Utah here. I've kind of been on the BYU hate train, and it's bitten me in the butt. They're a good football team, but I think Utah is so much better than they looked against Texas Tech. I think they're actually a really good team, and I'm taking them here. I think they continue to roll here and get back on track.
Yeah, I'm taking Utah as well. I can't pick a quarterback who wears number 47. I can't do it.
Hey,
I think Utah's a
first name though. Bear's an awesome first name.
Yeah, it is. It is a sick name. Yeah. I got to go Utah. I think that Utah still they always have that tough-nosed football team. I think they get it done.
I got to go BYU. It's going to be close, but BYU. Number 24, Cincinnati at OK State.
Yeah, I'm going Cincinnati here pretty easily. OK State hasn't had a great year. Cincinnati's pleasantly surprised me. I think they're better than I expected, and I think this one's easy for Cincinnati.
Yeah, I gotta go Cincy. I think they really are. They're obviously they're not a playoff team, but I think they're that team that they could wreck some seasons if you have to play them. I think they're a really good ball club.
Give me Cincinnati. OK State's not the same OK State we're used to. Nevada at University of New Mexico.
Nevada versus New Mexico. This one's tough. I'm gonna go New Mexico here. Both teams are not very good. I want to take Nevada. I believe Brock is that the school that Brock Purdy's cousin plays at?
I think so.
Yeah.
I want to take it just for that, but I'm going to stick with New Mexico here.
Yeah, I got to rock with New Mexico. I don't think Nevada's that good.
I'm going to do New Mexico. I don't think Nevada's good at all. LAF at Oregon State.
LAF at Oregon State. I
I don't
Oregon
know what
State's
that stands for. I don't know those colors.
Lafayette.
Oh, Lafayette.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Oregon State's been so bad that it hurts to pick them, but I'm still gonna pick them. I told you I'm a Malik Murphy guy, and it's just been awful there. They fired their coach, so maybe we see a little interim magic here. I'm going OK State, even if it or Oregon State, even if it hurts a little bit.
Yeah, I gotta go Lafayette. Honestly, Oregon State is so bad. It's kind of sad because I remember watching them. You'd have them. They had some good
were fun to watch.
What's that?
They were fun to watch.
Always, right? Yeah. Just growing up, I always remember them being fun to watch and just always having never a great squad, but a good one. And so, yeah, I got to go Lafayette.
I'm going Lafayette on this one. And the second to last game, FSU at Stanford.
Yeah, if I wanted to be a huge troll, I'd take Stanford here. I know I've mentioned I'm never picking Stanford. I picked them once, and I think they won. FSU, It's weird with them because I do think they're very improved from last year. The problem is last year they were god awful, so this year they're just pretty bad instead of god awful. I agree that their OC's he's kind of one of those trick play masters where it's like if he catches you slipping, you can get an Alabama game, but then you see teams that are ready for it, and it's like, oh wow, we're not very good and we're not moving the ball. That being said, I mean I gotta pick FSU here. I think Tommy C is good for what he is. I don't think when people were talking about him as a Heisman, I was just laughing. I was like that is so crazy. But he's a solid quarterback. I think shout out Clay Fink. I follow him on Twitter and he loves Chroma, Usman Chroma, their running back. And that kid's a dog, man. That's a true freshman he's a really good football player. I hope to see him get more touches. I'm going FSU. I hope they lose again. I'm going to hope they lose every game of the season, but I'll take them here.
One thing about me is I'm never, I cannot do it. It's just, I feel like it's just something that's just built inside me. I cannot pick FSU. I don't care who they're playing. They could be playing my high school and I'd be like, yeah, absolutely not. I'm taking my high school. I got to take Stanford. Even if I don't believe it fully, I got to go Stanford.
This pains me to say it, and it happened to me, I think, last week or the week before. I don't remember. I had to pick them, and I have to pick them again. Stanford's just bad. Florida State's going to win that one. I had to say it.
Can't do it.
Guys, the last game of the day, and I want your 5 keys to a Gator win. And sending off Billy Napier in the winning mode. And your final score. Mississippi State coming to the swamp.
All right. 5 takeaways or 5 keys. I would say number 1, and it goes into my MVP, is just get Jaden Ball the ball. I mean, he's a playmaker. He's a game changer. I think if we run him pretty hard, this will be an easy win. Number 2, just keep DJ Lagway comfortable. I think he's been noticeably more comfortable in the swamp than away from the swamp. So it's nice to be home. I think, when he's comfortable, he's a great quarterback, and we've seen that. Number 3 is just keep throwing the ball to Dallas Wilson. I think that's just a cheat code, man. If you have Dallas Wilson, DJ Lagway said in his press conference after Texas, he said, I told him, if I see press coverage, I'm throwing you the ball any day. And I think that's just your cheat code. You got to use him. Number 4 is get some pass rush. I think versus Texas, we dominated and you saw the results. And then versus Texas A&M, kind of nowhere to be seen. I'd love to get some pressure on Blake Shapen. I'd love to see, Jaden Woods. Yeah, he's been good, but I'd love to see that statistical breakout a little bit, maybe a sack for him. And lastly, just, I've said it a couple times, just avoid turnovers, man. I think, I mentioned this game. I think I mentioned it on Tuesday. I was at the Arkansas game a while back where we lost at home and it just felt awful. And it was really the turnovers that kind of did it to us. It was never like we were the worst team. We just shot ourselves in the foot. So don't let Mississippi State feel like they can get into this game. Don't let them feel like the Swamps, take the Swamp out of it.
Billy Napier, stay out of your own way, please. That's what Dylan is saying.
Exactly. My predictions, I think I'm going to end up with it being 28-17 is what I'm going to call it. I think.
Wow, a 28-point score on Billy Napier's offense. Okay.
Hey, listen, I think this offense at home, when they're comfortable and when, the defense hasn't figured them out, can score in bunches. I think, like I mentioned, they have the playmakers to do it. Obviously, the play calling.
I agree with you. I just don't. Billy Napier doesn't like to keep the gas on the pedal.
Yeah. I listen. If it's 28-0 at half and then ends 28-17, that's I'm all for it as long as they get it done. So, yeah, that's my prediction, and let's hope that it doesn't get ugly fast here.
So, my 5 key points is going to be, first and foremost, Billy Napier, do not get into a coaching battle with Coach Levy because you're going to lose because he's a much better coach. Second thing is control the clock. You need to have more time of possession than Mississippi State does. That's number 2. 3, win the turnover battle. 4 is run the ball. Just run the ball. That's all you got to do. Just hand it to 13 and let them work. And honestly, 5 is don't let the outside noise impact what's going on inside those lines. If you can let that, where you don't get frustrated. I don't want them thinking Billy's getting fired. Let that get in their head. I know what you said about his score and sounding crazy. I actually think that we really run it up on them. I think that it's like a 38-17 win. I'll be honest.
I like it.
I'm not going to give you my 5 keys this week, guys, because JB's got to run. He's got to do another episode, and I apologize. I'm glad you stuck it out for me.
Of course, bro.
I'm going to throw my phone number in on X for you to have it. And I appreciate you being on here.
I appreciate you having me.
Whenever you want me on there, just give me a ring or a text message.
Of course, man.
Guys, my final score, 27-24. Your Florida Gators. Stay positive. Stay on your grind. Finish it off, JB.
And if you ain't a Gator, y'all know the rest.